Hello guys, welcome back to EU4 here, and today playing as England again, clearly. And if you were wondering why sounds a bit weird, because I'm doing a voiceover right now actually, because well, I literally just forgot to make sure my mic was working before the video started, so no audio, really, besides of course the game audio that's in the game. So I have to do a voiceover for the video because it wouldn't be fair for you guys to hear just game sounds, no audio of any kind. So it would look a bit weird because I was doing stuff while talking, and it would look a bit weird. Like, wait, is he trying to talk? You know what I mean? That type of thing. So I'll be doing a voiceover. So I guess I'll stop talking about that. Start talking about the game that I'm playing. So as you can see here, I was checking out some of the mission trees. Like for example, the really nice one you get for Ireland with the 35% goods produced modifier, quite nice. And it was basically starting to plan out my invasion of Ireland, not plan out per se, but in my head basically. So I was merging up my navy, getting prepared, building my armies, building my armies prepared. I was doing audio right here actually because it was a bit loud in the game. You might notice that whenever you're watching. So yeah, I was just merging my navy up, getting ready for the Irish War because give you a little bit of a hint. By the end of this video, I do fully conquer Ireland because, well, I think it's very easy to do. There's no real challenge in doing it. Because, well, yes, some of the guys can ally Scotland, which is a bit annoying, obviously. The thing with that is you can sort of like what do you call it? I can't speak, bro. You can like change wars in a special way where, for example, Caldera might be allied to Sigil, right? And Sigil might be allied to Scotland, but if you don't coke oblige Sligo in the Caldera War, Scotland won't join and you still get Sigil, but because obviously it's just Ireland, there's only one culture that's like that, it doesn't really give you any, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter if, well, you declare war on them or you don't do it that way. It just makes it a bit easier with you. As you can see here, I was beginning to attack, I think it was Sigil and Leicester, I think it was. Leicester and I think it was Sigil, if I'm not mistaken. Sigil, something like that. Here I was also attacking Cornet and Ormond, I'm pretty sure, which obviously was to help unify Ireland because it's pretty high dev for Ireland, especially in this time period. Which obviously going to give me a lot of manpower and economy for later on in the series, which I'm probably going to be attacking France in the next video maybe, because this video was actually waiting for Castile to, well, what do you call it, run out of, well, basically, because he had a lot of debt when I checked. It said, Castile was in about 600 ducats of debt, so they were not joining the war anytime soon, so I had to, just sort of wait out the debt they had, and so while waiting for that, I would, unify Ireland, might take over, maybe take over Brittany, so just, build up England, play tall, pretty much, get tech, just prepare for the French war, pretty much. And then once I beat the French, which hopefully I do, I will, maybe do a second war, third war, and eventually, go down my mission tree, because there's the nobility privilege I have at the start of the game, which you lose a whole bunch of tax modifier, you can't see it around, so nobody have a lot of influence, which obviously isn't good. And to do that mission you have to first either give up all your provinces in France besides Calais, or conquer 20, or hold 20 provinces in France for a subject, or obviously directly, which is a bit hard to do, because I didn't pick the PU path, which I kind of regret now, but, I made my choice, gotta stick with it. So, as you can see here, I was just clearing up Ireland over time. I was, taking people off sieges to save manpower, all the things you might want to do, especially early game, where you don't have a lot of manpower or money or anything like that, really. You know what I mean? So, you sort of have to micro it almost, because you don't have much resources at the start, and these first few wars and decisions could really make and break a game in EU4, because obviously not completely, there's a lot of RNG and stuff like that in the game, because it's just that type of game. I mean, all games have RNG, but this one especially, just because of the way the game is, built. So, yeah, and once again, sorry about the whole audio thing, it may sound a bit bad or weird, and it's because, well, forgot to turn the mic on, so blame me, literally, because it's literally my fault for somehow not realising that. Don't know how, but we just managed not to, which happens, you know, it's happened to all of us. If you tried new videos before, obviously, I'm guessing most of us have, you know, because when we're younger, you know, we might want to, what do you call it, we inspire to be like those we watch, you know what I mean, so it's like, you want to do what they do, you want to be successful, and it's a lot harder than it seems. I know, because I've been doing it for like 3 years. I mean, on and off for 3 years, because I keep losing motivation, but I'll try this time. I know I said that last time, but that's all I can say, really, is just I'll try. So I was cleaning up Island, clearly, as we saw here. It was going quite well. As obviously, you know, you can see I'm annexing huge parts of it, so by the end of the video I have literally all of Ireland. It just looks nice and beautiful on the map, which obviously I do like. Only issue I'm facing as England is due to obviously I gave it the privileges early on to maximise mana because I'm a terrible king. I have crownland issues basically, so I have a lot of autonomy gain, I don't have a lot of tax income, which at the start of the game is where most of the income comes from, is tax. Some from trade. I mean, certain people, production obviously still helps, you need production, but it's more so in the maybe mid 1470s, 80s when you really start to get those production buildings unlocked, you know, like the workshops, the manufactories, maybe even some of your missions by that point, which was like the Irish Cold War ones, which gives you know the goods produced, which is really overpowered when you combine it with certain ideas and things like that in general, which makes you a quite powerful nation as England. I mean, why do you think England was able to form Britain, which eventually led to the largest empire in history? Obviously, this is a historical game. Well, the entire game is historical, because obviously you're controlling it. But it kind of shows you, you know, where England's power comes from. They had many advantages over people like France or Germany, which in their own way were definitely very powerful in their peak, but they could just never quite get to that level Britain was. Which is just how it is sometimes in history and other types of things. And as you can see, I was looking for the missions to see can maybe attack France, or and obviously you know I see there that I could call Portugal in, but it's just not quite even enough for me because I'm not the best at the game, like I said before. I just don't think I'd be able to do it by myself without you know quite a bit of help from my allies like Castile. If I had Castile and Portugal, I probably wouldn't have done it this video. There's a good chance I would have done it. I also have a Cornell mech there, as you can see, which I didn't even know. I think it was actually added with the Domination DLCs. I don't remember seeing this when I played England before, which is a bit weird. I also was meant to lose Gascony, forgot completely actually. So I meant to do it after this war, but then I got caught up with the whole, you know, centralising Ireland, that whole thing, which obviously was hard to do. Just you have just a lot of sitting around being at peace, which is a bit boring, I know, but a lot of E4's like that, being at peace and, you know, centralising around, becoming powerful, you know, the more general monarch things. So yeah, so I was doing a lot of this video, and also, yeah, just a lot of this video I was just sitting around being at peace and just, well, having fun still obviously, but like, you know, no real action to watch for you guys. It's a bit dull. I know it's a bit dull, but I mean, the way I like to do my Eu4 and Eu4 and all those types of games, I like to do unedited, mostly because I just, you know, want you guys to see what goes through my head when I'm playing. So if I were to edit it, not so good at editing, it would be a bit tricky, but I might try that out in the future, you know, by making more edited videos and speak. So I keep saying it's because I don't know what to say, if I'm being totally honest, because I could script this. Yeah, I should have. I don't do that. I don't know what to do as a YouTuber, honestly. I'm kind of lost, not very good at it, let's be honest. But I mean, I try, and that's what matters. I'll probably get better one day if I keep trying, so, you know, you have to go through that early stage before you start to become a bit better, like, well, all YouTubers, like Dan TDM, like, what are YouTubers, like Chewy, like Woody, like Historian, you know, all those types of YouTubers. They had to go through probably at the start where they were a bit rocky, not quite as good, because that's how humans are. They just, you know, are good at what they do. So I keep rambling, and I'm really good at rambling on, like, stuff that's nothing to do with what's even going on in the video, because I just love talking, I guess. It's quite fun, obviously, if I keep doing it. So, as you can see here, I was considering warring Scotland. It's just that, obviously, to war Scotland, I have to attack France, because they're allied to France, which is a bit annoying, because I have, obviously, French territories. I don't want to lose those territories, but I'm pretty much actually a bit more than half of the French numbers, which makes it, you know, very difficult, even for really good players like Rudy or Chewy or some other people. I don't know what they're called, but probably could do it. I'm not one of those players. I would be crushed probably completely to dust. I could maybe hatch out some kind of peace treaty, like I give up a few French territories for Scotland, but is it really worth it? I just say, you know, we wait our time and we attack at the right time, because that's what this game is all about, you know. To defeat your rivals, you have to think, you have to attack at the right time to get the right allies. You can't just, you know, attack and expect it all to go well, because it all the time will not if you don't think about what you're doing. Because these types of games do quite a lot of skill, something that I don't have too much of, but, you know, I try my best, even with my own 1,000 hours in the game, which is quite a lot of time for some people. Some people it's like nothing, it's like chump change. Some people like maybe even hundreds of thousand hours in this game. They are gods compared to me. But once again, I try my best, literally. As you can see here, I was trying to fix my economy, because just after the Irish was I had quite a bit of debt, you know, from constantly taking out, you know, loans, because I wasn't able to keep the positive balance I had at the start of the game. And the next video I probably will solve that, because near the end of this video I figure out that after a bit of waiting and centralizing Ireland and stuff like that, was reducing autonomy, getting a little bit more crownland, I was able to, I think, go down to, I think it was plus 1.94, something like that, ducats, making, with obviously without army maintenance. With army maintenance I'm losing like 3.68 or something like that, which is close to being a positive, but I'm going to have to do a bit of work, because I have about 3.5 ducats worth of loans. So if I pay this off, I am almost making positive. And remember, while I'm paying off my loans, I'll probably also do, you know, a bit of developing, and maybe even some conquering as well, if I am able to keep the loans at bay for a bit longer. You know, which means I can hopefully, what do you call it, extend the gap a little bit more. So, you know, when I pay my loans off, I'm maybe already making 2 ducats, so I make 5 ducats instead of, you know, just breaking even, which is an idea in this game, you know, because you always want to be growing, because the AI will always be growing. Because I had a few games before Domination, like a wee while back, that I played by myself, like I was playing as England, I think I fought Britain, conquered a few territories in France, but every time I came back to France, they were like somehow stronger than the last time, which is because the AI, you know, kept developing, they kept getting stronger, something I'm not too good at. I have a rough idea what to do and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm not too sure about, you know, how it works and everything. I'm just, I guess I just don't know enough to really, you know, make the best choices sometimes. But, you know, I try my best, and that's what I like about this game. You don't have to play by the now, it'll be really good. You can have fun and being, you know, not very good at the game. You can have fun with being a god. You can have fun doing anything really. You know what I mean? It's like, there's a lot of, you don't need to have amazing skill to play this game now, which I like. I also just got the really good event, the English Jousting Tournament, which obviously gives us unrest. I think it was prestige till the end of the Age of Discovery, which is roughly 50 years from where the game starts. Roughly 60, something like that, to the game starts. Basically until the Protestant Reformation begins, which is when obviously Catholics, Protestants, and Reformed split from the you know, main Roman Catholic Church, which obviously causes division, and it's going to be a whole thing, especially for the HRE, which is going to really start tanking Imperial Authority if it doesn't solve it. Which 99 times out of 100 they don't solve, because it's the AI, it's not the best at some things. Like, for example, converting or dealing with heretics, it's just not so good at doing that, is it? We all kind of know that. So, you know, it makes it very difficult for the AI to keep the HRE, which means mid-game-ish, kind of. The HRE is kind of dead by that point. It's not really dead, it still exists, obviously. It's still annoying to conquer provinces, but it, you know, won't be getting any stronger easily, because, you know, it's can't get any reforms because of no imperial progress, imperial growth period growth. It won't be able to pass reforms, which is what it needs to modernize and become stronger, centralize the empire usually. So, and also, by the way, if you guys want to see sort of any new series, like maybe different types of games, like I could maybe go into Eu4, maybe I could go into even just completely different games, like for example Roblox maybe again, or Minecraft, or anything really. I'm open for suggestions. It's not just about what I want to do. Obviously that's a part of it, because I'm obviously not going to play games that I hate just because people love it. You know what I mean? It's like everyone has their own opinions. We have to respect that. Which is what makes YouTube fun. You get to help entertain people and have fun at the same time, which is obviously quite fun. Also can be a job for many people. Probably not for me, because I've got other plans for life, but well, yeah, just kind of it. So I think by this time after I finished coding on Irish provinces and stuff like that, about 5 minutes after that I stopped the video, so I've got 5 minutes of talking to go, which is starting to get hard to do if you wonder. Yeah, so if you're wondering why I sound so, I guess, monotone, is because this is kind of how I actually sound. It's just me just talking into a mic for you guys. It's nothing special, no editing, no effects really, just me talking to you guys, me having a laugh, enjoying, maybe learning a little bit of history here and there, because, well, I'm not obviously any sort of history expert. I know bits and bobs. We can learn together. Maybe you can enlighten me in the comments a little bit. We could, have fun and enjoy ourselves together, which is ultimately the goal of pretty much all YouTube channels. Obviously, money is a benefit, but I'm obviously making nothing from this because I'm not even monetized. So even if I wanted to, can't. So it would defeat that whole, I guess, reasoning behind it. I think in about 2-3 months I finished Coding Island, at least, finished coding it, so which obviously allows me to start reducing autonomy and just really buff up that manpower and economy that England needs, obviously, to beat up its rivals in Scotland and France. And also this series, I'm pretty sure we're going, if I'm not mistaken, last video I picked Abandon the Continent in that event, which basically focuses more so on forming the historical British Empire, which is a big colonial empire while not worrying too much about what's going on in Europe. Obviously, stuff like attacking, which is a French colony in, what do you call it, California, which, for example, might, get the French in there. Actually, technically, well, it is a European war, but it's still the goal of the war, is to conquer American territories. So I'm still going to be, keeping, I'm not going complete historical, because like I said, I'm going to ideally conquer, Brittany, probably some parts of the Netherlands to increase my trade power, to, maximise that income from the English Channel. Maybe even, I think at most, what I want, like, full most, is obviously all of Britain, Iceland, Greenland, those islands around, all of the French region, like the entire thing, and also all of the Dutch, Netherlands type region, the Orlands, basically. And that's probably all I'll take in the main world. Obviously, I'll have like African trade colonies and stuff like that, but they're not. If you're from a trade colony, obviously you get less manpower and stuff, so it's not direct land, because it is direct, but like it's owned by a company, kind of. It's kind of like modern day, let's say maybe, I guess, oil companies, maybe, they kind of own the oil drills. We still benefit from it, but in reality they kind of own it. It's kind of like a really old version of that type system, where someone owns it. It's still technically under directly your rule, but you don't get everything. Some of it goes to the personal company or group of people, whoever controls that territorial item or just production method of something. So I'm also thinking, guys, to maybe make a, what do you call it, a Batman video, like Batman Arkham City, which I think is the Batman Arkham Asylum. I did the entire game, obviously not one sitting, clearly there was cuts in the video. I also didn't get the HD quality, but I think this time when I make the video I'm probably going to do commentary 1, because it's kind of boring to watch me just play games with nothing. And also I'm obviously going to shorten the clips down to maybe 30-40 minutes, because the game does take, hours to beat. It doesn't take You know, if EU4 videos 20 minutes is fine because it's the way EU4 runs. The kind of action type games like Batman, like Arkham games, you know, so you have to do a little bit longer because the games are quite long. Because you know it's not like one sitting game. It's kind of like each time you play, you usually play for like an hour or two and get past maybe 25% of the game at most each session. Obviously, if you're like a speedrunner, you do it in one session, but I'm no speedrunner. I mean, I am a lot better than I did that video because when I rewatched bits of it, I saw, for example, with the last boss fight, I died who knows how many times. Also, with that one elevator titan fight, I died loads of times. And this time, I think only died, I think it was twice, including with both boss fights, once in the elevator and once in the final Joker boss fight type, well, Joker slash two titan boss fight. On the hard mode as well, so you know, I'm quite proud of that. And also here as you can see, I can choose to basically make a special Irish personal union puppet, vassal, or keep it myself, and I chose myself because, well, I want to have a nice and united British Isles under one direct rule, not like multiple puppets, and I want like a big united island. Like France and stuff like that, and maybe the Worlds, I might make some puppets, or maybe make some puppets in Germany or Spain or something like that, but I have no plans to really go too deep into Europe. You know, focus more so on the colonial, maybe Indian, maybe African, those types of things, like general New World type things. As you can see, that I was making money, so yeah, about 1.384, about 1.34 ducats roughly. Without maintenance, obviously with maintenance, it's about almost 4 ducats of loss, which is quite a bit, but it's definitely recoverable. It's not like 10 ducats with like $20 billion of pounds of loans, or whatever you call it, in this case, ducats of loans. You know, it's not that bad, but it is obviously quite a bit of debt. It's not quite a bit, it's more like a medium amount of debt. It's not too bad that it's hard to recover, but the video's about to end, so I hope you guys have a good day, and well, that'll be me, and hopefully tomorrow I don't forget. So have a good day, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow.